Power Moves with Shaquille O'Neal is available now for streaming exclusively on Netflix. We'll talk about that. And for those who are watching us on the Roku channel feed, you can see I have in front of me the Icy Hot Shaq pack right here. I will open it up. Actually, let's bring in the actual genuine article. The Hall of Famer and one of the best on television with soon-to-be ESPN from Turner Sports, Shaquille O'Neal. Good to see you, Shaq. How are you, sir? Shaq. Good to see you.
I just had a moment.
What was
I'm
that?
like, how did I call in and I'm watching myself?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not here.
I didn't mean to freak you out, but by the way, and for those who might be careful, I have opened the Shaq pack before. You could get freaked out. What it is it's an Icy Hot.
What?
Yeah, it is. Where it talks when you apply.
Wait, what?
Oh, should I try it out, Shaq? Should I try it out? Okay.
Yes, that's called genius marketing. Go ahead.
Okay, here we go. So when you apply it, there's a speaker on top of your head. Here, hold on a minute. I got to turn it on first.
Yeah, that helps.
My bad.
Geez, turn it on.
Here we go.
All aboard the relief train.
All aboard the relief train.
Hold on. Got more. Does it work?
We're cold. We're hot. We're ready.
Okay. Hold on.
Icy.
Oh, okay. How many takes did it take for you to record all these, Shaq?
One take.
One take, Shaq.
I'm that good.
Mm-hmm. I like it. What happens when I rub the head, though?
Looking for a bicep.
I don't think we tested that part in the factory.
Does it work?
Bye, pain.
Yeah. Do it.
Hold on.
Dare you.
It worked. Hold on a
Get
minute.
some of that sweet relief.
That's amazing.
We're hot. We're ready.
Okay, there it goes.
I need that.
This is awesome, man.
Thank you.
Congratulations on that. You got your pack. How's life?
I can't complain. I was courtside at a weird game one.
Mm-hmm.
Very weird. You know, I thought that OKC, they came out with great energy. They were playing well. At least Shea was anyway. And then towards the end, they had a big lead, and Indiana kept fighting. They kept fighting. I just kept saying to myself, if Indiana could just cut into this lead and possibly have a chance to win it. And then Trey Halliburton came down, he hit that shot, and they were able to steal game one.
Where does Halliburton rank for you, Shaquille O'Neal, in terms of all-time clutch performers?
Well, I don't want to put him in that category yet, as a fan, because that's all we are now, fans. He's a joy to watch. He plays the right way, he makes the right pass, very unselfish. He knows when to take over for his team. And listen, when you have the ability and, when you have the trust of your teammates to take that last shot and you hit them, it just makes everything feel good. Nobody, including our good friend Charles Barkley, is giving Indiana a chance. And they pulled off the impossible last night. So game two is going to be very interesting. Of course, now the pressure switches to Oklahoma City's. But if Indiana can get that game two, I think they've won both games in the last couple of series. If they can get that game two, now we have a finals.
Well, I mean, you'd have to say Indiana would finally be considered a favorite once it's all said and done, right? I mean, if they take game two, wouldn't you, Shaq?
I mean, if they do take game two, I'm sure all the critics will switch up their critiques of Indiana. I mean, I actually picked OKC too because Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is one of the best players I've seen in a while, and his counterpart, J-Dub, who didn't have a great game last night, by the way, but, when Shea gives you 30 and J-Dub gives you high 25, nobody can really beat this team. That duo is very unbelievable when they both play well, but last night, J-Dub struggled a little bit. I think he went 6 for 19, only had 19 points, so I know he's going to be looking to come back and have a strong game. And I know Shea's going to have a strong game. And I know the place is going to be even more loud. That's one of the loudest arenas I heard in a while.
Is that right?
Yeah, it was very loud. It was very energetic and very loud. And I was like, okay, now I see why these young guys play like the way they play.
Well, I mean, just returning to Halliburton for a second, like you're not ready to anoint. I understand there's recency bias in our world, in our media conversation, daily talk conversation world on shows like this one. But I mean, what he did to eliminate Milwaukee, getting his own missed free throw, rebound, shooting the three to end the series on a 3-point shot with 1.4 seconds left, going up 2-0 by winning the first 2 games in Cleveland by hitting the game winner with 1.1 to go after they're down 7. We all saw what happened in Madison Square Garden in the Eastern Conference Finals. You were in the building for that, Shaq. And then last night, I mean, I mean, why not anoint him in terms of one of the best clutch performances we've seen, at least in a single playoffs?
Man, that's not really my job. If anybody wants to do that, they certainly have freedom to do that. But I can say he's not afraid of the moment, and I respect him for not being afraid of the moment. A guy like me, who wasn't a real good free throw shooter, I didn't always want that moment, but I've always played with guys that did want that moment. Penny Hardaway was like that. We all know Kobe was like that. D-Wade was like that. LeBron was like that. Steve Nash was like that. So that kind of took the onus off me because I wasn't a real good free throw shooter at the end to not even think about that moment. So the fact that he wants that moment, he steps up every time. The outcome is usually favorable for him and his team. I got to respect that. But I'm not ready to be like, okay, he's the next Reggie Miller or, he's, Mamba mentality. I'm not ready to do that yet. However, he loves the moment. He steps up. He enjoys it. I'm happy for him, and he's definitely one of my favorite players. A joy to watch.
Well, how does that permeate a team to win a championship then, Shaq, and the fact that he can meet the moment, the rest of the team knows that he doesn't shy away and can actually perform in it? How does that actually lead to 4 NBA Finals wins?
That gives you your teammates much more confidence. It makes them want to play hard. And if your leader believes anything is possible, then the others will definitely believe. I said last night to the great Isaiah Thomas, it reminds me of his Piston teams because they enjoy being the underdog. We all know when Isaiah had to play the Lakers, nobody thought they would win. When they had to play Boston, nobody thought they would win. And Indiana, this whole postseason, nobody thought they would beat the teams that they beat. And I think they enjoy being the underdog and they just play. And no matter what happens, they have great resolve. They never panic. Up 10, down 20, they just keep chipping away. And then if it's a possibility for them to win the game, especially at the end, just give it to Tyrese Halliburton, and he exactly knows what to do with it.
What's the biggest comeback win you've ever had in your career that even surprised you that you were able to pull it off, Shaq?
I don't know about the biggest, but I know my favorite was that Portland series Game 7 because I think that was my MVP year. I was having a great year, and it was kind of thoughts in the game, especially being down 15, 20, like, oh, not again. Here we go. I've always gotten so close and either gotten swept or just haven't been good enough. And then Phil did a wonderful thing. He called the timeout and he said, all right, guys, let's just get this game over with, and then we'll have our exit meetings, and then we'll talk about next year. Maybe we can get it done next year. And then all the guys had looks on their face. And, the elders of the team were the one that kind of picked us up. Rick made a couple comments, Brian Shaw, Big Shot Bob. And then when I saw my guys was ready to go, I was like, all right, let's just chip away. And then we just kept chipping away, and we clamped down. And next thing I know, we were tied and then up 1. And I can remember I kept telling Kobe, like, hey, man, I know you're doing your thing, but, whenever you come, if you want to drop it off, I'm there. And then that last play, right before he crossed Pippen up, we kind of made eye contact, and I threw my hand up, and then he crossed Pippen up at the top of the key. Matter of fact, I'm not going to even talk about the clip. Here it is right here.
I wish we had the ability to just press a button. Are you aware it was the 25th anniversary of that alley-oop 2 days ago, Shaq?
25. No, I didn't know that. 25 years?
25th anniversary of the Kobe to Shaq alley-oop to complete that comeback was 25 years ago, 2 days ago. Yeah.
That means 2 things. One, I'm old as dirt, and two, you're old as hell.
Wait, hold on a second. That means I need this. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, hold on a minute.
All aboard the relief train.
All aboard the relief train. Yeah, I need it. I need the icy hot. All right, let's talk about your relationship with Icy Hot. From now until June 30th, you can win this bad boy, the Shaq pack, by entering a contest through the Icy Hot website. Is that it, Shaquille?
Yes. Whatever you have written down, that's what it is. I'm not the promo man here, Rich.
I'll do it for you. I know.
Yes,
I'll
thank
be your
you.
Ernie for you right now. We have the
Yes,
same
thank
haircut.
you.
We got the not the
Yes.
same Emmys, but the same
Yes.
haircut. Okay, it's a limited edition Shaq pack. You can go to the Icy Hot website right now. You got until June 30th to win one of these. This is now going to be in our studio. That is for damn sure.
Thank you.
And Power Moves, available on Netflix, which is available right now on Roku. What's about this show, Shaquille O'Neal? What do you have here?
You know, I remember there was a time in my professional career where Reebok was never number one, never number three, but a respectable number two. So, you know, as the years go by, Adidas purchases Reebok and, you know, takes over all their contracts and kind of stops movement and, you know, halts project of, you know, Reebok's basketball, just kind of eliminated us. So my partner, Jamie Salter and Corey Salter and Nick Woodhouse, I asked them a million times, hey, we got to purchase Reebok. So they purchased Reebok, and then I asked them to make me president of Reebok basketball. For me, it's a challenge. I said to myself, okay, I didn't build Reebok by myself. It was another gentleman by the name of Allen Iverson that took it to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
We want to make him vice president, and we want to try to get this thing back going. So it's just about me trying to, you know, rebuild the brand that's been gone for a long time. My two hardest challenges were reintroducing a brand that kids never really heard of. You know, like I said, when I was coming up, there was only 3 or 4, maybe 4 or 5 respective brands. Now there's so many brands. Like I'd go to these basketball tournaments and be like, y'all like Reeboks? And a kid would say, what's Reeboks? So now I knew I had my work cut out. My second biggest challenge was I remember going in, looking at all of the designs and saying, hey, where's the high tops? And it's like, we don't wear high tops anymore. So I don't want to hear that. We're making some high tops. And then Sharif took me to a tournament with about 35 basketball courts. I did not see one pair of high tops. So I had to change my mentality a little bit. But I think where I had the advantage is that when you're on a championship team and a championship franchise, you know how to utilize your teammates. For example, if I was going to start a show, the Shaquille O'Neal show, I would talk to all your people over there because your people over there, they do a great job. They've made you look good for many years, and I would definitely get advice from those guys. So, you know, I think my biggest attribute as a leader, as the president of Reebok basketball, is my ability to listen to my teammates.
Oh, I mean, and it's a fun show that just is now available for streaming exclusively on Netflix. It started posting on June 4th. Watch Power Moves on Netflix is available right here on Roku as well. And before I let you go, obviously you're part of a brand show and inside the NBA. So much talk about moving it to ESPN and concerns that it's not the same. It won't be the same show there. Do you have similar concerns, Shaquille O'Neal, right now?
I don't have concerns because I know one guy that you're never going to change, and I know another guy that's really close to him. So, you know, the other two guys, listen, Ernie is a consummate professional.
Yeah.
He can adapt to any situation. Ernie is the guy that really keeps us out of trouble, and Kenny is a professional. But, you know, Chuck is right there on the line, and I'm right below Chuck. So Chuck's not changing. I'm not changing. I actually saw something yesterday where it said the ESPN is going to give us the same no look that they give Pat McAfee. So listen, we're just going to go have fun, do what we do, talk about the game that we love, and just try to make people laugh.
Well, yeah, and I'll just say this though, Shaquille. You know, very rarely do I say you and I have something in common, and I really haven't spoken about this on my show because I am in love with the Roku channel people, and I'm trying to be as respectful as possible, not talking about this on this program. But this show is moving to Disney in September as well, and we've been given the same assurances as I'm sure Pat has, and I would be stunned if in any way, shape, or form they try to change you or your show. There's a reason why you guys are who you are, I would be surprised. You are who you are, and an institution, a total institution, and I'm so glad that you guys are staying put and together. Man.
Yes, the four horsemen live on.
For sure. And other than that, where else would we see you go to the bathroom live on television? Shaq, you know what I mean? Where else would we see that?
It was a number 2. You know what?
Okay.
You remember that?
You coming clean?
Do you remember that song when you was little?
Of course. Yeah.
When you think it's in your head and it's running down your leg, diarrhea. Diarrhea.
Shaquille O'Neal confirms it, everybody.
Hey.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. You're the best, man. Susie wanted me to say hello. She always says,
All
say
right,
hi to
thank you.
Shaq. You know that. And one last time. There we go.
Help, it's Shaq. I'm stuck in this bottle.
Okay.
And you didn't introduce me to your team. Who are those guys?
Okay, well, that's Chris Brockman over to the left.
Shaq,
Right
who?
there. That's Chris Brockman.
Good to see you, bud.
Right there.
What's up, Steve? How are you, Steve?
I will go by Steve from now on.
Jason Feller is right to his left, right there. There's
up,
Jay
Shaq?
Felly.
What's up, Tommy? How you doing, Tommy?
Okay, there you go.
Doing great.
And TJ Jefferson is right here. There goes
The
TJ.
Diesel.
Jamal, what's up, my boy? How you doing, Jamal?
Shaq Diesel.
There you go. And I'm
Love
Dick
you guys.
Eisen, everybody. There you go. Shaquille O'Neal, everybody. Good to see you, Shaq. Much love.
All right, thank you.
Right back
Talk to
at
you
you.
later.
There you go.
Bye-bye.
That's Shaquille O'Neal. That's Shaq.
The greatest.
Follow him. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.